Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Welcome to Spokane Talks Live. I'm your host, Collin Pittmann. It's a rainy day out there in Spokane today, and I am told though that the rain is going to go away by mid-June, so we'll hang out for a couple months for that. This just in from the Sheriff's Department, some breaking news. A runaway 14-year-old girl has been missing since the morning of April 1st. Madeline Wyatt, as you can see her picture there. If you've seen Madeline Wyatt or know of her location, please call Crime Check at 509-456-2233. Well, we do have a really good program today. Kate Hudson will be joining us from Visit Spokane to tell us all about the events going on around town in the month of April. And then Alan Westfield, along with Marnie Rorholm, will join us from Gonzaga University to discuss Gonzaga's ROTC program. And then we'll end the hour talking about Spokane Valley Summer Theatre and how they're going into the woods this summer in July. But first, here's my weather forecast. Well, I've been out of the Weather Center for a while, but I'm happy to be back. I do not have great news, however, because we have a lot of rain in the forecast this week. Starting off today on Wednesday, as you can see, rain throughout the day today, and that daytime high in downtown Spokane checking in at 48 degrees. More rain in the forecast tomorrow. However, things do clear off a bit on Friday with that high at 50 degrees and partly cloudy skies. But as we head on into our weekend, we're going to see even more rain and those temperatures just dwindling in the lower to mid 50s throughout the weekend. Lots of rain, so if you're planning any outdoor activities, you might want to reconsider those. It is spring in the inland northwest, and we're going to see a lot more rain in the months to come.
For the Inland Northwest's most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with Spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with Spokesman.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Alrighty, we're back to Spokane Talks Live. We have Kate Hudson with us in the studio. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Good, very good. It's a busy month in Spokane.
It is. There is a ton of stuff going on. We were just commenting on that.
Yeah.
Lots to do, lots to see, and there's a little something for everyone.
There is, starting with the younger kids
Yes,
with
and
Paw Patrol Live. This is
Yes.
going to be a big hit, I think.
I think so too. My kids are young and they love Paw Patrol. So it's coming to life on stage at the IMB Performing Arts Center on April 6th, or April 7th and 8th this weekend. So if you know the slogan, no job too big, no pup too small.
Yes.
This is your chance to go see it live.
I can think of a couple that I know will be going for sure. And then there's a Dennis Miller
Yes,
also coming this weekend.
Yes, this is April 6th, and I'm very excited about it. We all know Dennis Miller from his time on SNL.
Yes.
He has been named one of Comedy Central's top comedians of all time. He's number 21 on their list of 100, and he will be at Martin Woolson Theater at the Fox doing his show.
On the 6th?
Yeah, on the 6th. And there are tickets still available. I checked because I'm interested in going. So it was self-serving, but also helpful for all of you.
That's exciting. No, that'll be really funny. The Maine, the Rex, and the Technicolors.
Yes, this is at the Knitting Factory, April 7th. They're a little bit emo. It's 3 separate bands that will be doing the show, and tickets are $20. It's a little bit of pop, a little alternative, indie, and emo. So a little something for that
of-
entire genre
Yes.
of music.
And then there's, of course, First Friday.
Yes, that is
and
a
that
free
is,
event.
Is that the 6th, too?
This is on the 6th.
On Friday.
Friday, it's a celebration of all things local arts, local music, the local food scene. There's all sorts of things going on and to be showcased. So you go wander around. All the wine tasting rooms are open. I know River City Brewing is having a garage party that night, which is also free, so you can go and have some beer at their little brewing area downtown.
Of course I couldn't, but those over 21,
I might be partaking. I'll have one for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Someday. You
Yes,
can aspire.
someday.
But there's all sorts of things to celebrate for all ages on First Friday. So it doesn't have to be about sampling wine or beer. It can be about checking out the arts and listening to music.
The food.
And the food, too. Go and have dinner with your friends or family and make a night of it. It's a really neat thing that happens once a month.
That's a lot of fun. And Johnny Lang
Yes.
is coming to the Bing.
I love Johnny Lang.
Yeah.
He is fantastic. He's been entertaining now blues singer for 20 years. He will be at the Bing Theater April 10th. Tickets still available anywhere from $32 to $57 for tickets. So if you would like a great show with wonderful musical talent, this is a good one for you.
And, of course, Spokane's Home and Garden
Yes.
show that's so popular.
I know. Even though it's kind of rainy and cool, I know we had one of the wettest marches in
Yes.
history.
Yeah.
It's still time to start thinking about all those home projects.
It is.
So the Home and Yard show is April 13th through the 15th at the Spokane Convention Center. Tickets are $8.
Oh, nice.
You can go in and get all the ideas, and I love just going and looking at all the demonstrations and
The DIY
all
projects.
all the exhibits. And they are going to have their guest speaker is Matt Blashaw, who
from
is-
HGTV.
Yeah, from HGTV's Yard Crushers.
That's
So
fun.
he will be there, and you can listen to him speak and get some more ideas. And maybe he'll crash some yards while he's here,
Ooh.
which I think would be fun.
That would be cool. That would be very cool. And the Spokane Bike Swap
Yes,
and Expo.
this is
I've
a
never-
huge
is this
event.
new?
No, this has been
It's not-
around for
ooh.
years, and it is an annual event. It raises money for Big Brothers Big Sisters,
Oh, cool.
and there are usually 1,000 bikes that are new, used. You can swap. You can buy a used bike. You can buy all the accessories for biking.
Where's this at?
This is at the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center.
Oh, cool.
It's huge, and something that people go to and make a note of to go to every year. So tickets are $5. Kids 12 and under are free. It's a great weekend for anyone who's interested in buying a new bike or wanting a used bike, or they have a bike they want to get rid of. Don't
We have a
need
lot
anymore.
of great trails in the area to
I know.
do that.
We
so.
do. We have a lot of great biking areas. So
The West Side Story.
yes.
That now the Spokane Civic Theater did that
Yes.
earlier this year.
Yes.
But now they're doing a partnership with the Symphony.
Yes, this
and
is
the-
at Martin Wilson Theater at the Fox, April 20th and 21st. And what makes this even more special is that there are going to be 4 Broadway stars, bona fide Broadway stars,
Wow.
who have played these parts before on Broadway, and they will be guest starring in this
Wow.
rendition of West Side Story with the Spokane Civic Theater.
That's
so
really
it's a really neat concept,
Uh-huh.
and it'll be at Martin Wilson Theater at the Fox,
Wow.
and it is going to be fun.
Mhm.
Lots of great music, lots of great singing, and that classic tale of
Yes. West Side Story.
love that didn't work out.
Yes. Yeah.
But it'll be
And
great.
then Dirty Dancing.
Yes.
That'll be at
So-
the IMB
Yep,
later this month,
INB,
though, right?
Yep. This will be April 26th through the 29th. Tickets are still available, and we all know the movie.
Yes.
And it's exactly what it's about, Dirty Dancing. And it'll be on stage. Broadway entertainment at its finest here in
Yes,
Spokane. So
yes, for sure.
we're very lucky here in the
We
Inland
are.
Northwest. So
A lot of great shows. at
yeah,
the
there's a
IMB.
ton of stuff going on, and all price ranges too.
I heard that the Sound of Music at the IMB was phenomenal.
Yes.
didn't
I
get
did
to
not
go
see it.
I didn't either. I was bummed, but
I know.
I heard
but
it was very
I
good.
heard it was fantastic, and Dirty Dancing will probably be just as great.
Yes, for sure.
So,
Well,
yeah.
Kate, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
We look forward to your visits every month.
I
and
look forward
seeing
to
what's
it as
going
well,
on
and-
in the city. But we are going to throw it to break. When we come back, we will be joined by the ROTC people at Gonzaga University. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer, and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
We are back, and I am joined in the studio by Marnie Rorholm and Alan Westfield from Gonzaga's ROTC program. And, you know, I kind of want to start off with this, because I don't think that everyone necessarily knows exactly what ROTC is. I mean, I think most of us are familiar with it, but what really is ROTC?
Right. Sure. Well, Gonzaga University is one of 275 universities around the country that have ROTC programs.
Wow.
Basically, we exist to develop leaders for the Army, future lieutenants, and they come to school simultaneously, earn a degree and an Army officer's commission.
And then they go into the military
Yes.
after their school training, right?
Yes. In our case, it's into the Army. Many go into the active duty force. Some go into the reserves or the National Guard.
And, you know, I've heard talk before that there are some branches that don't specifically, I don't know if they aren't offered through ROTC. Is that true? Or is it?
Well, to become an Army officer?
Right.
Some of the Army Officer Corps officers begin at West Point, United States Military Academy. Some go to Officer Candidate School, but the vast majority, about 75%, go through an Army ROTC program at a university.
Wow.
Yes.
You actually, in your last year, put down your choices that you'd like to branch, which branching is basically what your job is going to be in the Army. You put down your top 4 choices, and then based on a lot of other factors, what everybody else in the country is doing, you get one of those choices as your branch going out into the
Now,
service.
is that based, do you guys, as Gonzaga's ROTC program, do you select the individuals that are, or is that, you know, just an Army thing? They select.
To join the program?
Right, right.
Well, some people come try it out, take ROTC as an elective. They learn about leadership, they learn about problem solving, and they can walk away after a semester or up to 2 years. But there are people competing for scholarships or to contract. So we select, it's merit-based, it's competitive. We look at one's record regarding scholastics, athletics, and leadership.
Entering into the program.
Entering in.
Yes.
Right.
For branching is what you were asking about branching. If some of what the student has chosen to major in sometimes determines that. If they're a nursing major, they probably will branch nursing. If they're an engineer, they probably will branch engineering. But some of the more general majors, English, psychology, they can be serve in a number of different ways. So it just kind of depends. But the Army does, the greater Army assigns that to them, not our cadre or not Gonzaga. But we do determine, we assist, and it's actually Dr. Westfield's job is to help students get contracted and scholarshiped in the first place.
So how many students are in the program at Gonzaga now?
We range from 65 to 105, right now 70.
Yep. Probably 1/3 females, 2/3 male, would you say? Something
Correct.
like that? Yeah, yeah.
So do you think, given the, you know, I hear a lot about, given the political and cultural atmosphere that we have in the United States right now, does that reflected in your numbers at all, you know, from year to year?
Our numbers are at the upper end
Wow.
compared to where it's been in the last 17 years. 116 high school seniors are competing for scholarships right now.
Wow.
I think our high watermark was 130, maybe 7, 8 years ago.
That's just at Gonzaga, like 116
Yeah,
to,
so
to get one at
we're
GU.
attracting
Yeah.
talented young folks.
Yeah. That's
They
great.
have pretty remarkable records. We've had an all-volunteer force for the military since 1973, and for the most part, the military has been successful in attracting the people with the right stuff and the right reasons for joining, and we certainly reflect that.
That's
It's also
great.
reflective of Gonzaga and Whitworth universities, where there are many people trying to get into our 2 schools, and the universities look pretty much like we do for people with scholastics and leadership and willingness to serve.
Yeah.
And
we probably should mention that too, that there is no ROTC program at Whitworth, so students who earn a scholarship and want to participate that are Whitworth students join our program. So we have students that come down
from Whitworth.
Yes, we always say
awesome.
Bulldogs and Pirates lead the way, and they drive down for all of their military science classes down to Gonzaga. It's a big investment in time. But you know, if you have a scholarship that's paying for your college, it's sort of like a job. It's worth it, right? So
do you know, a lot of these schools outside of ROTC programs have different levels of scholarship. You know, are all of your ROTC students, are they full scholarships, or some of them, you know, at different levels of scholarship?
Probably
How does
about
that work?
85–90% of our students compete for scholarships, and they're all the same, where the Army pays for tuition, a book allowance, a monthly stipend, and then both universities provide room and board to the scholarship persons.
While they're going to school?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
it's a pretty
really
robust
special.
deal. It's
and that's not the same for every school across the country that has an ROTC program, but both Gonzaga and Whitworth are so generous that if a student has a scholarship, they automatically throw in room and board. So once you get the scholarship, you're really scot-free the rest of the time. Of course, you have to pay the government back when you're done, but it's really that's a very generous offer. So yeah,
especially given the cost of college tuition.
And
you
private
know.
school at Gonzaga.
Four-year scholarship's worth about $225,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know it.
How many do you guys usually give out at Gonzaga?
It's about 90% of each year group.
Of each year.
Yeah. But it's you know, when you think about it, though, they're ultimately going to be leading soldiers, and we've been in persistent conflict for 16 and a half years. So there's, you know, it's not just social welfare. These people are earning scholarships, they're competing, and they go out in the Army, and we have troops in over 100 countries right now.
Wow.
Protecting our way of life, and so there's payback expected.
Some students secure those scholarships ahead of time too, like in their senior year of high school, and they know they either got a 4-year scholarship or a 3-year scholarship. But some just show up on campus and decide that now they're interested in the program. And so Dr. Westfield is really amazing at helping those students secure maybe a 3.5-year, 3-year, 2.5, 2-year. Once that's called a campus-based scholarship. Once they're there, so just because you didn't earn one doesn't mean you shouldn't join the program. We can still help you. Help you get one.
Later on.
Yeah, later on, absolutely.
So, you know, you mentioned students not necessarily starting in ROTC, but join, you know, later on in their academic career. How many students do you think don't start in ROTC, but then say, oh,
you
know, I'm like...
a third to a fourth.
A third of your...
and a third.
Or fourth of a freshman class.
About 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4
Yeah.
identify early on and before coming in high school that they'd like to become Army officers and compete. But some walk on, and friends bring their friends, and there are transfer students. There are soldiers out in the Army that have some GI Bill benefits, and they get out and use them, or maybe they take advantage of a different type of scholarship where they get out early to become an Army officer through ROTC.
I mean, they have to be prepared to take about 5 credits more than the average student per semester, and it's about 10 to 20 hours a week, I would say, of extra investment in time and studies. But it's absolutely invaluable, and they're going to come out of it with certainly the obligation, but it's also a job, a paying job with great benefits. So it's not a bad deal for free college and then a job afterwards.
I think also, given, like we mentioned earlier, given the cost of college tuition and the college education, carrying that debt with you for so many years, you know, that is a great option for so many people that are interested in going in to fields in the military.
It is.
You know, getting that college education out of the way, then in.
And, you know, a deterrent a lot of times is the student or the parent, if they don't understand. I mean, they're used to a pop culture that, you know, shows them war all the time, and they're worried about going into combat. The truth is 80% of the jobs in the military are not combat jobs. Now, some are, and some people will go and do that and serve. But, you know, we don't want that to be a deterrent for joining military science. I mean, you know, that you think you're going to have to you know, carry a gun later. You might, but you might not. So, you know, we get lots of, Dr. Westfield does a great job of talking with, you know, concerned high school students and parents. And
well, we want to paint a picture of reality.
You have
so,
to be real.
I mean, since September 11th, 2001, 347 lieutenants have gone into the Army from our program. And I'd say at least 75% of them have been in a combat zone. And some were in combat arms, in the infantry or armor, you know, right there at the tip of the spear, and then others have been providing support, but it's not the old linear battlefield. Bad actors are all over the planet in some of these zones. So,
you know, as technology is changing and as all of these, the medical field even is changing so drastically, are some of these jobs within the military, are they also changing?
Yes. I mean, there are many technological advances that hand in glove, we move forward with the technology with our troops, or sometimes we drive technology because of the requirements that we have when we're conducting operations. But some, it's just basic blocking and tackling. Our students are running around racing this morning after doing a ton of push-ups and sit-ups and on a brisk 3.5-mile run. And so that doesn't change. You still have to be fast and strong and smart. And there are some basic fundamentals and skills that we need. And then there is there is new technology that.
And they learn a lot of that there are some summer camp requirements as well, where they go off to beautiful Fort Knox, Kentucky, and learn and experience some of that new technology. And then again, after they graduate and commission and they're really second lieutenants in the Army, again, there's another training beyond that, basic officer leadership course, before they ever go to their first duty station. So I mean, they're very well trained. Nobody's throwing them into a combat zone without this amazing instruction that people like Dr. Westfield are giving them. So yeah.
How do, like you said, it's a big investment, both mentally, physically, time-wise, joining an ROTC program. How do you think, I can't imagine that everyone that enters the ROTC program is fully confident that, this is what they were meant to, so how do you kind of deal with that mental, state? Should I really be doing this? Am I physically capable of doing this?
Yeah.
We deal with that all the time. And again, trying to make sure they understand what they're getting into. It's an option I wish everybody would consider, service to nation in whatever way. This is one way to give back. But it's not for everybody. The requirements are tough, and the situation can be very tough. And so we don't sugarcoat things. We let them know what's going on. We have people spend time with us on visits. High school seniors spend 24 hours with us to look inside our world and conduct physical training with us on a Friday morning. Go to leadership laboratory on a Thursday afternoon to be outside and take the theory that's taught in the classroom about leadership and watching people apply it. So there are no gimmicks, there are no trick plays. We want people to get a feel for what they're getting into. And then before they end up contracting, if they compete for and earn a scholarship, we continue to make them faster, stronger, smarter. They have to be able to read, write, and brief. They have to problem solve, have to be a follower. And so the methodology works. And there was a conversation last night with some of our faculty and the seniors who are going to be lieutenants in a month. And one mentioned, there's a lot that we're going to be getting into here soon. I'm not sure if I'm ready. I think I am, but what do you think? And that sparked an excellent conversation. And the response was, of course you're ready. You can lead, you can follow, you can inspire others, you know how to pay attention and listen and problem solve, and you're going to be fine. Just be yourself.
And I think in a lot of other careers or in a lot of other courses in college, academia, there's definitely something to be said about an ROTC program in that you do apply the things that you've learned. And that's not consistent in all careers and different choices of major. So I think it's really neat in that regard too.
And actually Gonzaga itself and probably Whitworth have a great support system, and we work with the students' advisors, academic advisors. The students in our program actually have a nice family around them to help them when they're feeling, emotionally or academically or, physically over-challenged and need help. They've got this wonderful set of cadre that's there to help them and this wonderful set of university resources, and we work very closely with the university to get anybody the help they need and really help these students along. They're almost in a better place than your average student who just shows up and is trying to muddle their way through college. So we really care about them and take care of them. I always say that's the worst part of the job, because you get attached to them and then they go off, and it's the hardest part of working at a university. So.
Well, thank you both so much for joining us today. I know I am speaking on behalf of a lot of us in the area that we really respect the work that you do in making sure that these individuals are moving right along that path.
Right. And if anybody is interested in our program, if there's high school students out there, parents of high school students that are listening, please contact our office, 313-6512. I will put you in touch with the master enrollment officer, and we'll talk to you about coming to visit campus and taking a look at our program and helping you get some tuition assistance and an amazing career.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you both
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks for shining light on these amazing young folks.
Yes, thank you.
Our present and our future are in good hands.
They are, for sure. Thank you. We'll be right back after the short break.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at ROTC Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
ROTC Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
To find the right home for you, you'll work with your realtor to compare the properties you're interested in, analyze the market, and figure out a reasonable offer price. And now, here you are, ready to make an offer. Yay, you! Here's how it works. First, you'll complete an offer sheet which your realtor will then present to the owner. Sometimes, a nice note to the owner can help your offer stand out. Butter them up. Tell them how much you love their garden, that it reminds you of gardening with your grandmother as a child. Do not mention you're gonna bulldoze it and put in a pool. The owner may accept the offer, reject it, or counter. It's important to be in close contact with your realtor during the negotiation process so any changes can be reviewed. Your realtor is like your consigliere, and that makes you the Don. Once your offer is finally accepted, there are usually some contingencies that must be met in order to keep the contract alive. Inspections are totally common in real estate transactions. They include termite checks, surveys to determine boundaries, appraisals to determine value for lenders, title reviews, and structural inspections. This stuff is mind-numbingly fascinating. But you know what's even more fascinating? Actually getting your new house.
All right, and we're back, and we're talking about something that I think both of us are pretty passionate about.
Very excited, yeah.
Spokane Valley Summer Theatre.
Yep.
And they are going
And
literally into the woods this summer.
Right.
In July.
Yes.
With their production of Into the Woods.
Yes.
So.
Yes. This is the third season for Spokane Valley Summer Theatre, which is a professional theater. It's the only one, only professional theater in the Spokane region. There is Coeur d'Alene Summer Theatre in North Idaho. And they've done some really amazing shows. And this year, going to be a 3-week run of Into the Woods in July. Yes. And I've been helping them with some marketing and development from the very beginning. But this year, I get to be in the show too.
Yay.
So
you're doing
excited.
both.
I am.
Yes.
I am doing both. Yes. And I'm tickled because my son is going to be in the cast with me. And so I'm my high school son Gunner, and I'm going to have this amazing stage manager.
Yes,
Collin's
I get to
gonna
stage
be our
manage
stage manager.
the show.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Yeah. It's going to be great. I mean, Into the Woods is Stephen Sondheim.
Mm-hmm.
The music is kind of ridiculous. Every Stephen Sondheim show is very difficult, but I think that over 100 people auditioned, and so there's
Yes.
some really talented musical performers
Fantastic.
out there, and so the sound is going to be absolutely.
You know, something I've noticed, I've seen Into the Woods before.
Yeah.
And if it's not done well,
right,
it's hard to follow.
Right, it is.
Because there's it takes all of these stories, Cinderella,
right.
Jack and the Beanstalk,
mashes them all up.
It just intertwines
Red Riding
them
Hood,
all.
yep,
and
Rapunzel, all
watching auditions, you know,
Yeah.
the over 100 people that auditioned,
Right,
which
it's
was
tricky.
fantastic.
It's really tricky.
It is. And I think, you know, seeing the talent that we're going to
Yeah.
have for the show,
Definitely.
it'll be clear as day.
Well-
you know, it won't be hard to follow the story.
Oh no, it'll be gorgeous, and her shows are really lavish and really gorgeous. I mean,
Yes.
Yvonne A.K. Johnson, who's the executive artistic director, has a long history in this region of putting on these really lavish productions, and this one will be no different with a full live orchestra and all that. The other thing I think people don't realize is that the facility itself. Technically, it's the theater at CV High School, but it's actually the City of Spokane Valley Performing Arts Center. It was built to be the City of Spokane Valley's arena, if you will. It's a 600-seat theater, or 550, something like that. Huge theater, state-of-the-art, $2 million theater. And so it has an amazing sound system, and you can do some
yes.
amazing technological things with set and lighting. And so I have a feeling this one's going to be pretty over the top. Like,
Yes.
it's going to be really, really beautiful.
And they have an
So-
amazing fly system.
Yeah, fly system, I know,
and
which doesn't exist everywhere. So it should be pretty gorgeous. And then I think right in the last week of the run, there's also going to be an extra fundraising Broadway night, probably, and that's yet to be cast, but that will also be equally beautiful. So
Broadway and concert.
Broadway and
evening,
concert,
yes.
that's it. Yeah. And it's really, again, those wonderful, Spokane's chock full of talent. And so some of those really amazing voices and actors and actresses will.
I think we're a little discredited sometimes,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no talent in Spokane.
Right.
Well, you should have been at auditions.
I
Because,
know, there
mean,
really is.
People are just.
Right.
There was not one person that came
Yeah.
into auditions for Into the Woods that was just not
Right.
right at that bar.
Right.
With talent.
And
I
the
mean,
previous season, we have done 2 shows, but this year, Yvonne, the executive artistic director, was producing this off-Broadway show with Melissa Gilbert in New York, and just can't get back in time to do 2 shows. So instead, she's just going to go all out for 3 weeks on this one huge
Yes,
run.
and there's
so-
another obstacle there.
Yeah.
At the high school. if you
Right,
wanna
the
talk
high
about
school is
that.
doing a little bit of work on their HVAC system,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. So in the beginning, it was like, no, you can't have your shows here at all. And luckily, the CV has been so very supportive of this professional theater, and so they, in the end, were like, well, we can work out the dates where you can squeeze in this one. And so mid-July, I would say. Definitely you want to get tickets. The tickets are on sale already, and they are selling.
Yes.
She told me she's got some brisk sales going on already. The website is svsummertheater.com, and there also is a Facebook page. I think if you look up Spokane Valley Summer Theatre, and it's a professional theater, professional actors and actresses, and stagehands and musicians, and going to be pretty phenomenal.
It's really, having
Right.
seen, been on the other side of the productions,
Right.
having been in the audience, it's
Right.
like
They're very
watching
pretty.
a Broadway production.
Definitely.
Phenomenal.
And David Brewster is going to do the musical.
Yes.
He's going to be the music director again, and so he's done some really pretty things in the past 2 years. Secret Garden and some gorgeous sounds. So we're really, you and I are
Yes.
really excited. I am a
Yes.
little biased. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll admit that, but it's going to be fantastic.
It will.
So, yeah.
It will. It's
Yeah.
really exciting. I mean, not every community this size
Right.
has these kind of
No.
organizations and opportunities. So
No, and actually, most of the theaters in Spokane, the community theaters, go dark in the summer, and so there's very few options for good performing arts
Right.
in the summer. Even Best of Broadway, sort of their season runs like kind of like the school year, like September
through May-ish.
right,
yeah.
right. And so if it's summertime and you're on your way out to the lake and you want to have a good evening of
Yes.
really quality theater, there's only a couple places you can choose. You can either go here, you can like I said, go into way up into Coeur d'Alene, but in our region, and the city of Spokane Valley has been so supportive of it, and the mayors at every show, and it's really the city council
That's
members.
great.
It's really wonderful, and so we're building a lot of community support in our 3rd year, and so I'm glad we didn't have to take a hiatus for the HVAC system.
Yes.
So we'll.
And I think that will continue, as
Yeah.
Valley Summer Theatre continues to grow
Definitely.
and be more well known in the area. I think
Right.
we're gonna.
Absolutely. There also is, I should mention, if you have young people who are interested in getting into theater, there is a summer camp program that goes along with that. You can also register for the summer camps at svsummertheater.com. They're amazing. They're for kids from 1st grade through high school, and play in a week type camps. And it's just good to participate in that, because then later on, if you want to get into the big productions, you know, the staff there already sort of knows who you are, and it's just really
and they're
amazing
fun
training.
shows. You know, they're Harry Potter.
Harry
I
Potter's
saw,
and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
and the Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
I want to say
they switch year to year sometimes, but yeah, they're always something fun.
They're
like
just
that.
fun shows.
Right.
The kids will love.
And with amazing quality staff to teach them, and so if you have a student, a kid who's interested in the performing arts for the summer, please come out and join us, and it should be fantastic.
It will.
So, yeah.
It's going to be an exciting season.
I know. I'm happy. So
we're both really excited, and we hope you'll join us too for Into the Woods. We open July 13th and close July 29th.
Yep.
So
Second
just a
half of
couple
July.
weeks.
So pencil it into your calendar.
Yeah.
Buy your tickets before they all sell out.
Yes.
And yeah. So
to get to see that show.
Definitely.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining us today on Spokane Talks Live. We'll see you next week.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Online, LLC, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic, or to see this program again, please visit our website, SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Join us next Wednesday, noon, for another nourishing conversation on Spokane Talks Live.